It is the final day at NAB, and we still did a lot of interviews and a lot more, and it's coming up next. It's Geekazine's coverage of NAB 2014, and it's brought to you by our friends over at Otherworld Computing, celebrating 25 years. Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here with Geekazine.com and YouTube.com/Geekazine. And here we are on the final day of NAB. But the Expo, of course, it was a great event. I enjoyed it. I got to learn a lot. I got to go to a couple sessions and really get an idea of what I might be doing with my craft, what I might be adding to my my rigs in the future. Awesome stuff. And I went through a lot. We got a big list to go through, so let's get it started. First of all, I got to I went through all the radio broadcasting area, and I wanted to see how the radio broadcast could actually be used within a podcasting situation. I found a couple great programs, including one called Digital Jukebox, which is basically a cart for you to put all your sound bites into. Even you could put music into it, and you can record your conversations via on Skype or one-on-one conversations, and then put it in there for editing and for post-production, so you can create clips and snippets for it to be at your fingertips when you need it. I talked to a company that develops software for the radio for basically call-in shows, and what would happen? It would store the person's name, the person's number. You could give them a name, so when they called back, you'd say, "Hey, Derek, how you doing? Good to hear from you. I'm glad you're calling back." And then, of course, it's also got the Twitter feed, and of course, an iPhone app. So if somebody finds something that they want the radio crew to notice, they can actually send it off to them, and it's like a yellow box as opposed to a blue box for that. That was pretty sweet. Got to talk to a lot of mic companies, and one in particular is called DPA. They have the headset lav mics, modular. They can be taken apart, so if something breaks, like let's say the cable phrase or something like that, instead of having to replace the whole unit, you just have to replace one piece. Plus, they've got a lot of other mics, from shotgun mics to handheld mics and everything else. I got to talk to the folks over at Omni Racks. Now, they make furniture for radio stations. They talked about the stations that they had it in. Just in Nashville, they just put in a whole bunch of broadcast situations. Now, for some of you podcasters, some of you videocasters, and voiceover artists, you want a nice table. You want a system that you can just call something up, do something, record it, and get it out of the way. This is some great modular furniture. Starts at $500 and goes up to whatever your heart's desire. They can do it. It's over at Omni Racks. They're our West Coast company, but I've talked to them, and we might get some stuff going on in the Midwest part. So go over to Geekazine, and you can check that all out. Went over to the GoPro booth and saw some of the new accessories. They didn't have any new cameras, but they did have some new accessories, including the deep sea under filters for their cases, and of course tube accessories, bendable accessories, so you can position your GoPro however you need to for that video shot. Also went over to B&H and I got to check out the Tascam under the camera recorder, the 60D. And I also got to check out the Zoom 60D, which can record up to 6 different microphones on one device. For $300, if I'm doing a 4-person interview, that would be a perfect recorder to bring with me. And it's small enough that I can put it into a case or just bring the case with it, because it comes with a lot of different microphones, including a crossover mic, a boom mic, has a dead cat in it, and of course you'll see on the video of all the cool features that the Zoom 6 has. Finally, the coolest piece for all of you studio people, one-person studio people, you're thinking about actually setting up a second camera. Instead of setting up a second camera, why not get this? It's called the one-man rig, and basically what it is it's a slider, but it's an arced slider, so it will move the camera from one side to the other at a slow pace, so you can get a moving shot as you're doing an interview and go from there. Of course, you can set up multiple cameras or multiple one-man rigs and just have them sliding back and forth. As you can see, that's what happened with me, and that was some pretty cool stuff. We had the Canon EOS on there on one of them, and I think a Nikon was on the other one. So a lot of cool different options. $14.99, a little bit more expensive, but if you're looking to really upgrade whatever you're doing for your podcast, that's a great way to do it. Of course, if it wasn't for our sponsor, none of this would be possible. That's why I'd like to thank our friends over at OWC, Other World Computing. They have a lot of great stuff. If you've got a MacBook that you just put Mavericks on, you want to increase the memory, maybe put an SSD drive in there. Or a brand new Mac Pro that you want to increase memory, but you don't want to pay Apple prices, check it out over at OWC. They've got great prices at fractions of the cost that Apple would have. You can get your memory, you can upgrade your memory, you can put in SSD drives. There's even a way, did you know that if you have an old computer, maybe a legacy computer that you can't switch out for a new one, you could put an SSD drive into the IDE slot and use the SSD drive from there. They've got solutions like that. Need a refurbished computer? They got those too, and a whole bunch more. Whether PC, whether Mac, or even enterprise level with their Jupiter line, which they announced here at NAB. Check it all out. Tell me how it's going to save your Mac by using that hashtag SaveMyMac over at OWC. Go over to geekazine.com/OWC, geekazine.com/OWC, and find out how you can save your Mac. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, geeks of all ages, that does it for this time around at NAB, National Association of Broadcasters. Are you a broadcaster? Are you a radio broadcaster? Maybe making a movie? Maybe you're a podcaster or a videocaster? This is the show to be at to find all the cool little gadgets and gears, ideas to put into your head when you need to make something, whether it be a movie, whether it be a podcast, whether it be a TV show, a radio show, or whatever. They've got it here, and there's a lot of content. You know, one more thing. The coolest swag of the week was a boomerang. I got an actual working boomerang from the company. I can't remember the name of it. I don't have it with me. And they basically their tagline is, "You'll come back to us." And that's true. It all comes back. And I also like I said, I've been walking the floors. I love these shoes. Skechers, thank you very much. These I'm going to be definitely taking a look at some other shoes because, you know, I walk the halls so much. I need comfort when I'm standing and walking, and these shoes are definitely flipping the bill. All right, well, that does it for this round, NAB 2014, almost 2015. My next show is going to be TechCrunch Disrupt in New York City, where we get to see all the startups, we get to see all the fun, and that's going to happen in May. And check it out there. Of course, go over to Geekazine, follow Geekazine, Think Magazine, put in a geek, you've got Geekazine. YouTube.com/Geekazine. Go ahead and subscribe there. Like the video down below. I'd appreciate it much. And then tell your friends. Remember, the hashtag on Twitter, the hashtag on Facebook, and Google Plus is Geek Out. Thanks a lot for watching this year's NAB action over at Geekazine. We will see you next time. Take care.